ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਹਰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਬਾਣੀ ਮਨ ਮਾਰਿਆ, ਅਣਿਆਲੇ ਅਣੀਆਂ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਜੇ। ਜਿਸ ਲਾਗੀ ਪੀਰ ਪਿਰਮ ਕੀ, ਸੋ ਜਾਣੈ ਜਰੀਆ। ਜੀਵਨ ਮੁਕਤ ਸੋ ਆਖੀਐ, ਮਰ ਜੀਵੈ ਮਰੀਆ। ਜਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮੇਲ, ਹਰ ਜਗ ਦੁਤਰ ਤਰੀਆ। ਸ਼ਲੋਕ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ। ਸੱਚੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਖੰਡ, ਸੱਚੇ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ, ਸੱਚੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਲੋਹ, ਸੱਚੇ ਆਕਾਰ। ਸੱਚੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਣੇ ਸਰਬ ਵਿਚਾਰ। ਸੱਚਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਅਮਰ, ਸੱਚਾ ਦੀਬਾਨ। ਸੱਚਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੁਕਮ, ਸੱਚਾ ਫੁਰਮਾਨ। ਸੱਚਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਮ, ਸੱਚਾ ਨੀਸਾਨ। ਸੱਚੇ ਤੁਧ ਆਖਹਿ ਲੱਖ ਕਰੋੜ। ਸੱਚੈ ਸਭ ਤਾਣ, ਸੱਚੈ ਸਭ ਜੋਰ। ਸੱਚੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਿਫਤ, ਸੱਚੀ ਸਾਲਾਹ। ਸੱਚੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ, ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ। ਨਾਨਕ ਸੱਚ ਧਿਆਇਨ ਸੱਚ, ਜੋ ਮਰ ਜੰਮੇ ਸੋ ਕੱਚ ਨਿਕੱਚ। ਮਹੱਲਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ। ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਜਾਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਨਾਉ, ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਜਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਨਿਆਉ। ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਜਾਂ ਨਹਿ ਚਲ ਥਾਉ, ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਜਾਣੈ ਆਲਾਓ। ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਬੁਝੈ ਸਭ ਭਾਉ, ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਜਾਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਨਾ ਦਾਤ। ਵੱਡੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਜਾਂ ਆਪੇ ਆਪ, ਨਾਨਕ ਕਾਰ ਨਾ ਕਥਨੀ ਜਾਏ। ਕੀਤਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਸਰਬ ਰਜਾਏ। ਮਹੱਲਾ ਦੂਜਾ। ਇਹੋ ਜਗ ਸੱਚੈ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕੋਠੜੀ, ਸੱਚੇ ਕਾ ਵਿਚਵਾਸ। ਇਕ ਨਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਸਮਾਏ ਲਏ, ਇਕ ਨਾ ਹੁਕਮੇ ਕਰੇ ਵਿਨਾਸ਼। ਇਕ ਨਾ ਭਾਣੈ ਕੱਢ ਲਏ, ਇਕ ਨਾ ਮਾਇਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਵਾਸ। ਏਵ ਪੇ ਆਖ ਨਾ ਜਾਪਈ, ਜੇ ਕਿਸੈ ਆਣੇ ਰਾਸ। ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਜਾਣੀਐ, ਜਾ ਕੋ ਆਪ ਕਰੇ ਪਰਗਾਸ। ਪੌੜੀ। ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ ਉਪਾਏ ਕੈ, ਲਿਖ ਨਾਵੈ ਧਰਮ ਬਹਾਲਿਆ। ਓਥੈ ਸੱਚੇ ਹੀ ਸਚ ਨਿਬੜੈ, ਚੁਣ ਵਖ ਕੱਢੇ ਜਜ ਮਾਲਿਆ। ਥਾਉ ਨ ਪਾਇਨ ਕੂੜਿਆਰ, ਮੋਹ ਕਾਲੈ ਦੋਜਕ ਚਾਲਿਆ। ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਇਰ ਤੇ ਸੇ ਜਿਣ ਗਏ, ਹਾਰ ਗਏ ਸੇ ਠੱਗਣ ਵਾਲਿਆ। ਲਿਖ ਨਾਵੈ ਧਰਮ ਬਹਾਲਿਆ, ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਇਰ ਤੇ ਸੇ ਜਿਣ ਗਏ, ਹਾਰ ਗਏ ਸੇ ਠੱਗਣ ਵਾਲਿਆ। ਲਿਖ ਨਾਵੈ ਧਰਮ ਬਹਾਲਿਆ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, we're blessed today to be able to do the vichar of the second Pauri of Shri Asa Di Vaar. Here, Guru Ramdas Ji Sache Pacha, in their Chand, let's first discuss that, how Guru Ramdas Ji says that Akal Purkh, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Angad Dev Ji, Guru Amardas Ji Sache Pacha, they've shot this blessed arrow of their beautiful, love-filled words, and it's hit me straight in the heart. This pain that's hit me in the heart, it's not just pain, but this pain has given me life. Sache Pacha says, Har Prem Bani man marya, aneale aniya Raam raje. Aneale aniya means very, very sharp arrows. Such arrows that Sri Ramchandra used to use is described here. Aneale aniya. These arrows were so sharp, and they were in such a way that whenever they would hit anybody, whenever the arrow would get pulled out, all of the guts and all of the mass that's on the inside, they get pulled out and thrown out as well. So all the flesh gets pulled out with it. So what Sache Pacha is trying to say here is, when Guru Sahib hit such an arrow of these tikhan baan chalai, these arrows hit me right in the heart. Not only did it break away my home, not did it only break away my veil of falsehood, but it also took all of the darkness, all the agyanata that was stuck inside. It filled me with love, and it took out all the ignorance from the inside. Har prem bani man marya, aneale aniya Raam raje. Jis lagi peer piram ki, so jaanai jariya. And only those that know how to endure this type of arrow, Jis lagi peer piram ki, whoever gets hit with such a loving arrow of my beloved pyara, They know how to understand this. They know how to endure it. And those people that are able to endure it, they Jeevan Mukat so akhiya mar jiva mariya, because this arrow is something that kills you. It kills your home, it kills your ignorance. They are truly known to be Jeevan Mukta, or what we call Mar Jivade, Jeevan Mukande. Jeevan the Mukta so akhiya knows those people to be alive while they're dead to the world. So they're dead whilst alive. Jeevan Mukta. They're liberated whilst living in this world. Mar Jiva Maria. Those people are liberated whilst living in this world. Those people that while living, they die. Shabd maro fir jivo sadhi ta fir marna hoi. You never have to go into this cycle of birth and death again because they are liberated. What this means is that to the world, all the desires that a normal human being will have towards the world, this person does not have it. The world will say that you need to please the world. The world will say it's all about desire and hunger. It's about showing to the world. It's about becoming something. But these Gursikhs, they'll say, no, it's about becoming nothing. I don't care about anything. Why? Because the Guru has shot such loving words, these arrows to me. Bhakt Kabir Ji says, Kabir Satgur Sur mein bahya baan jo ek, lagat hi poe gir parya, that whenever my beloved Guru, who is such a great warrior, he shot this arrow towards me, and when it hit me, I was shocked. I was wonderstruck. Just lagi peer paramki so jana jariya. When it hit me, I wasn't able to move. And in that way, Pyareo, I've become dead. Jeevan mukt so akhiya, mar jiva mariya. Maharajan Bani, they say, mere man prem lago har teer. Hamri bedan har prab jana, mere man antar ki peer. My Guru has hit me with such a loving arrow that when this arrow of love has hit me in the heart, my Guru knows all the pain that's on the inside. Hamri bedan har prab jana, they know my condition. They know what I'm going through. Mere man antar ki peer, they understand all the difficulties and all the struggles that I'm facing. But my Guru is loving me in such a way. This analogy, Pyaro, can also be taken just like the Western analogy of Cupid shooting the arrow. Or when we look into what we call the Devta, Kamdev. When he shoots an arrow, when the arrow hits and the person is filled with love, in the same way the Guru has hit me, not just with a Cupid arrow, but the words of the Guru. When this Bani of an arrow hit me, I completely died. Light was prakash. It was enlightened inside of me. And that state of mind, Sache Pacha says, Jan Nanak Satgur Mel Har Jag Duttar Tariya, that those people that are able to endure the arrows, that die whilst alive, they know how to cross over this terrifying world ocean that everybody is drowning in. Jag Duttar. Duttar meaning very difficult to cross over. They are able to cross over this very difficult world of an ocean through the blessings of the Guru, because they've now met the Guru. Jan Nanak Satgur Mel Har. Through the Guru, I've met my Paramatma. I've experienced that love of Akal Purkh. And now I've crossed over this ocean. But what Sache Pacha is trying to tell us in this Pauri, that in order to achieve this, you must follow what the rest of the sloks in the Pauri are saying. This entire world is created by Akal Purkh. Akal Purkh is sitting inside of this creation, just like we spoke about in the previous Pauri. But now the question is posed. There are different things that we see. You're saying everything is a Paramatma. Akal Purkh resides within everything. But when we look at the sun, we see the sun differently. We see the moon to be different. We see the houses and we see the people to be different. You're saying everything is one, but everything seems to be separated. Everything seems to be two. Can you please explain this? This question was asked by Sheikh Brahm at Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha. They're answering this question. So in this slok and in the following Pauri, Pyareo, Sache Pacha is describing to us not only the creation of the world by Akal Purkh, but now also the game of humans and the jeev inside of this world. The game of karmas. How there is good and bad. How is there dharm? How is justice defined? What is this difference? Because everything seems to be separate. But how is it also Paramatma? Let's look into the depths of these questions, Pyareo. To answer this question, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Salok Mahalla Pehla, Sache Tere Khand, Sache Brahmand, Sache Tere Loa, Sache Aakar. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha, they take the Brahm Drishti, or what we call the Brahm Beta Drishti, where you have the vision to see Paramatma all around. In every single atom, every cell of this world, all you see is Paramatma. Aisa mera Raam rahya parpoor, niktav se nahi harduda. Paramatma is not far away. Paramatma is near. Paramatma is inside of my heart. Paramatma is right in front of. What we read in Anand Sahib, E netro mereo har tumai jyot tari, har bin avarna dekho koi. Har bin avarna dekho koi, nadri har nihalya. E ve sansar tum dekhde, eo har ka roop hai. Har roop nadri aya. That this world that you see, this is the form of Paramatma. Sache Pacha explaining that type of avastha, that state of mind of those people that have attained Brahm Giaan, that have this blessing of Guru Sahib to be able to experience Paramatma in such a way that have become one. They're explaining from that angle, and they're saying that Sache Tere Khand, that all the regions of the world, all the 9 continents, or all of the Brahmands, Sache Tere Khand, Sache Brahmand, all of the worlds, all of the universes, whether small, whether big, all of that is true. Why is it true? Why is it true? Is because you are residing in it. Let's explain this. Let's look at this in a little deeper sense. Pyareo, we call things true, but when you explain true, you have to look at it in 2 parts. One is nirarth sach. One is adarth sach. What this means is that the adarth sach is true only because of the nidarat sach. Because there is something that is true, the other thing, the adarth, that is based off of that truth, that also gets known to be true. An example of that is sunlight and the sun itself. Because the sun is, that's why the rays of the sun are also true. We can't, somebody looks outside and they see the sunlight. The sunlight is true, but that's an adarat sach. Because that truth relies on the sun. The sun exists, therefore the sunlight exists. If there was no sun, there could be no sunlight. If the sun was false, then sunlight would also be false. But because the sunlight exists because of the sunlight is also known to be true. In the same way, everything that you see in this world is true. It's like the sunlight. But this is only true because of Akal Purkh, Brahm, Paramatma, that is residing through this. It's working through this. It's like the image, it's like the light of it. What you see only exists because my Paramatma is residing in it. Therefore, it's true. In this Pavitr Bani of Sri Asa Di Vaar, there are also the words Kood Raja, Kood Parja, Kood Sab Sansar, that the kings are false, their followers are false, and this entire world that you see, it is all false. It is all filth. It's all Kood. It's compared to ashes. It's compared to dirt, dust. On one end, Sache Pacha is saying that it's dust, it's false. On one end, Sache Pacha is saying that all the regions of this world, all the universes are true. Pyaro, this is speaking about how you see the world. From what angle do you look at it from? If you consider the kings to be true, these kings are now sitting on their thrones, but tomorrow they will go away. They will die off. Anything that sits on a throne today is not true, Pyareo. Jis asan hum baithe, kete bais gaya. The seat that we're sitting on today, many have sat on that throne, many have gone. Raam gayo, Ravan gayo. Raam has come, he's gone. Ravan has come, sat on a throne, he's ruled, and he's gone. The politicians of today, the kings, the celebrities of today, they'll all come and they'll all go, Pyareo. But that energy, that prakash, the light that's shining through them, that's still in the world, the one that is the nirdarat, such, that will always remain. The other things will come and they'll go. Sache tere khand, sache brahmand. The universes may come and go. The world is changing. The world in itself, if you can look at the world and you say, call it the Maya Roop, in which Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha describes in the previous Pauri, Dui Kudrat Sajiya Karasan Ditho Chao. The Dui Kudrat aspect of it, the Maya aspect of it, the duality aspect of it, that is not true. But the beauty is that that duality is still true because the truth is shining through it. Meaning, the duality cannot exist without Paramatma. Api ne aap sajiyo, api ne rachiyo now, because of the Naam, because of Akal Purkh, and the Naam that's permeating all through the world. Through that, the duality is created. But if it wasn't for that Naam, if it wasn't for Paramatma, the duality can't exist. So the world cannot exist without Paramatma. When you look at the world, you see Akal Purkh and everything. That's why, therefore, this world is also true. Because my Paramatma is working through it. Sache tere khand, sache brahmand, sache tere lo, sache akar. Pyareo, there's also another example. When we look at something is called adishthan, that means that this is the support, this is the asara. And whatever exists because of that can only exist because of that Paramatma. An example, because water exists, therefore the structure of a lake exists. Because water exists, therefore the structure of the ocean exists. If there was no water, there would be no lakes, there would be no rain, there would be no oceans. Because water is, therefore, all of these different names exist, and they get used for many, many different things. All of the other names, Sache Tere Lo, Sache Akar, even all of these worlds, Lok, Parlok, Swarglok, the 14 Lok, the 14 different Loks, whether it's this world, all of them are only existing. They are true. Why? Because my Paramatma is working through them. Sache Akar, all forms, all of the people with many, many different faces, many, many different habits, abilities, personalities, the forms of houses, the forms of buildings, the forms of different statues, different mountains, different trees, different lakes, different animals, birds, dogs, horses. All of these different forms exist of the stars, the suns, and the moons. All of these lights exist. Sache tere lo, sache akar. All of these forms exist. They are true. Why? You can't just call it false that the world is nothingness. No, it's not nothingness. It's oneness. Why? Because Paramatma is working through it. Therefore, because my Paramatma, my Akal Purkh, my Vaheguru resides in them, therefore it is also true. Because Paramatma is true. Even though the actual form, the actual Akar will go away. Kood sab sansar. That my body exists. Yes, I, in the sense of my home, am not true. My thoughts and my abilities, they are not true. Because whatever changes is not true. Fashions, trends change. It is not true. My mind changes. It is not true. My body changes. It is not true. Yesterday it was young. Today it is in youthfulness. Tomorrow it'll go into bajurgi, what we call an elder state. The body becomes old. These are the three avasthas. It's always changing. Therefore, this entire world, Supane Jio Sansar, is just like a dream. But look at what's working through that. What Shakti is working through that. Why does it change forms? What is this hukum that it's all residing in? Pyareo, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Sache Paatshah, they describe that whatever was put into this world, nothing has changed. Na kaat hai, na baad hai, na kaat baad both hai. Meaning that the water particles that were in this universe, in this world, when the world was created, they are the same amount. Whether it goes into the form of clouds, oceans, or drinking water, goes into our bodies, it's the same amount of water, pyare, you know the water cycle. The amount of heat and fire that's put into the world, that does not change either. Na kaat hai, na baad hai, na kaat baad bodh hai. It does not change. In the same way, Guru Nanak Dev Ji describes, Asan loe loe pandar jo kish paya, so ekavar. Everything that's been put in this world, it does not change. The aspects within it change. Therefore, the way that you see the world is false. But the actual world in itself, Paramatma is still existing. Paramatma does not change. Paramatma does not disappear and then come back and grow and disappear. Paramatma is Sutantar. It stays. It's Nihchal. It's unwavering. But the world is wavering But because you are residing in it, Sache Pacha, all your worlds are true and all your forms within it are true as well. Sache tere karne sarv bichar. Now all of your doings within this world. Some people, they see Paramatma and they experience that Anand. This is your karna. This is your blessings. This is your doing. Some people are sent and they struggle within Maya. Sache Pacha, because you are working through this, therefore it is also true. Sache tere karne. Anything that is done in this world is also true because it's your doing. Sarva bichar. And anybody that sits down and they contemplate your name and they understand your doings, they also become this form of truth. Sache tere karne sarva bichar. All thoughts, all contemplations, they're also true. Why? Because you are working through everything. It's your Shakti. Sacha tera amar sacha di Baan. Amar meaning Raj, rule, kingdom. Diban meaning court. This entire world can be looked in the form of your court, your rule. You are the king, you are the Pathshah of this entire world. Your rule is true. A king can come into this world. The king rules for a certain amount of time. Then the king dies off. His son takes his place. That son dies off. Then his son takes his place. This is the way of the world that it's been. But you and your rule, they don't change. Your court doesn't change. But what is your court? Those people that sit in your court, that sing your praises, we also call them satsang, the true sangha, the true company. They also become truth. And your court in itself, that is true as well. Your rule is true, and this entire court of this entire world is true as well. Sacha tera hukam. And now in the form of a king also gives a hukam, gives a command. A king gives a hukam. Maybe somebody follows it, maybe somebody doesn't. But when you give a hukam, everybody has to follow it. There is no way your entire rule abides by your rule. Sacha tera hukam, sacha furman. All your updesh, all of your words, they are also true as well. Let's look at it in this way. The way your hukam happens, this entire world is within your hukam. Asan jor nahi. Je kich kar hum sakhe, jyon pave time baksh. This is the avastha of a Bhagat saying that Sache Pacha, we do not have power, we do not have control to be able to say anything to you, to be able to change the world. Sache Pacha, you can bless me if you bless me. I've made all the efforts that I can, I've fallen at your feet. Sache Pacha, jyon pave, jidon tenu pondaya, the way it pleases you. Forgive me in that way. Bless me in that way. This is the way a Bhagat speaks to their Paramatma. Sacha tera hukam, sacha furman. Your hukam is true. When we look at taram, pyaryo, everything in this world is within that taram. Meaning the law, the system created by Akal Purkh. We look at into Japji Sahib, taram khand ka eho taram. That taram khand was this. This is taram, meaning rati ruti. The day and the night, the moons circle around in the way in which create months. They create weeks. The years are formed. The seasons are formed. Somebody can't decide and say that I want it to be daytime now. If it's nighttime, that is within your hukam. It's within your command. Just by somebody wanting it to become daytime, the sun won't rise. Somebody wanting it to become spring while it's winter, that cannot happen because that's within your hukam. It's within your system. This is all placed inside of time. This is placed inside of Kal. You are outside of Kal, Sache Pacha. You are beyond time. You are beyond death. But all of this is changing. And only because of this changing system, this world exists. Because day comes, night comes. Because night finishes, the day comes. In this entire way, breath comes in, breath goes out. Rati, Ruti, Thiti, Var, Pavan, Pani, Agni, Patal. And 5 elements. There's cold, something gets hot. Something is hot, it gets cold. Dirt is changing. Within this 5 elements, the world is created. And inside of this Dharamsal, inside of this Kothri, and inside of this Dharamshala, what we call a temple, there are many different Jeevs living now. Jeevs meaning separated beings who are living in ignorance. You created the Jeev. This entire system is created within your hukam. It's within your taram. We can't change this. We don't have the power to change this. We are accepting the only way to go by this, jo hova, hovat so janna. Whatever happens, accept that to be Prabh apne ka hukum pachanna. Living in this way, accepting this to be the hukum. Whatever is happening, whatever just happened, that is the way it was meant to happen. When somebody reaches the avastha, to be able to accept Sache Pacha's hukum and live in the raza, live in the will of Akal Purkh, accept the will of Akal Purkh, they're able to understand how a hukum works. Avan jana hukum te aisa ka, hukum hai buj samavenge. Somebody will say, why did I be born in this world? Why do we have to eat? Why do we have to breathe? These things are things that we cannot change. This is all within the hukum. Sacha tera hukum, sacha furman. Sacha tera karm, sacha nisan. Sache pyareo, tera karm, sacha nisan. Your blessings are true, your actions are true. And the bhakti di nishani, the flag that is sitting inside of those bhagats that do this bhakti, that is also true. Any signs that are put out into this world is a sign of yours. It is also true. Why? Because you are working through this. This path is true. Your paths are true. Nisan also means path, pyareo. Sacha tera karm, sacha nisan, sache tud aakhe lakh karod. And all of these bhagats that are instilling this bhakti and calling out to your praises, they're praising you, they're calling you truth, and they're connecting to this naam of yours. Sache tud aakhe lakh karod. There are thousands, hundreds and thousands, crore, millions of them. Sache sab taan, sache sab jor. They're all working and calling out to your power. Gave ko taan, hove ke se taan. Your power is working through all of that. Even if they're singing your praises, even as somebody is calling out to you, it is with your Shakti. That's why it is true. Your bhagats are true. Your karam is truth. Your nishan is truth. And those that call out to you, there are many, many numbers. Asank jap, asank pao, asank puja, asank tapatao. Pyareo, all of these people, Sache Pacha and this Pauri of Japji Sahib, they list out basically everybody that is meditating and calling out and remembering Akal Purkh's name. There are many, many. Asank meaning countless, immeasurable. Sache tud aakhe lakh karod. There are so many of them. They're calling out to you. They all become the form of truth. They call out to the truth. They become the form of truth. And them calling out to you, that is also true. That act is true. Sache sab taan, sache sab jor. Whether it's a leaf moving, whether it's the water moving, whether it's the strength of a warrior, the strength of a lion, the strength of an elephant, that strength is true. Not in the act that I say I can do something. No. Because I'm working, I'm thinking, but there is a chetanta. There is a thought, there is an energy that is working through from the back of my buddhi. That's making me think. That's making you think. That's making you hear these words. It is not just your mind. That is not just your own energy that's allowing you to think. But look at the example of a phone. I want you to pick up your phone right now. And I want you to put it onto camera mode. When your phone is looking out into the world, through its lenses, it sees what the world is and it brings it in to your phone and it shows you. It displays it on its screen. If you start recording, your phone will record everything it sees. It will store it in its memory. It will have that. If your phone has 25 megapixels, if your phone has 15 megapixels, it doesn't matter about the quality. But if nobody is using that phone, if nobody is there to look at that screen, and you put that phone down, what value do those megapixels have? What value does your big inch screen have? Or how great your display is? It's just a piece of metal. If nobody is using it, it has no value. The value comes to the person that's using it. Because the person is looking and using the phone, therefore, the memory inside of that phone, whatever is recorded, becomes useful. But if nobody uses it, it has no Shakti of its own. The phone can't use itself in that way. The value only goes to the person using it. And you think that if my mind is the phone that's recording the memory, my eyes are the lenses that are looking out into the world, then who is the one that's using this phone? Who is the one that's viewing this? Because the phone can go into ignorance. The phone can fall into this doubt, this illusion, and think that I am the one that is recording the memory. I am the one that sees the memory. I am the one that is of value. But if nobody is using it, the Shakti is coming. If nobody turns on the camera and nobody presses record, that camera can't go around in your phone and start doing everything. Somebody is using it, but the phone has forgotten who's using it. That is Paramatma working through that. Therefore, the Shakti that is working, your energy that is working through elephants, through warriors, through everything, that is all true as well. Because you work through this entire world. If it wasn't you working through this world wouldn't exist. Sacha sab taan, sacha sab jor, all the powers, whether spiritual powers, whether scientific powers, whatever it may be, sacha sab jor, all the strengths and the powers, they're all yours. Therefore, because they are yours, they are also true, pyareo. Sachi teri sivd. Now, many people praise you. Many people praise you, and that praise is also true. Those that praise you, as they praise you, they become form of the truth. They realize this truth. Praising you is true. Somebody can explain the greatness of Akal Purkh, but that can never ever be reaching its full potential. It will always be adhuri. Sachi teri kudrat, sache padshah na kudrat. Balhari kudrat vasya, tera ant na jai lakhya. We sacrifice ourselves to this Balhari Kudrat in which you reside. Balhari Kudrat Vasya Tira Antana Jai Lakhya, because we can't know the limits of this. The laws of nature, the power of nature, Kudrat, which we call the Shakti of Akal Purkh. Whenever we refer to the words Mother Nature is Akal Purkh itself. It's the power of Akal Purkh. Sachi Teri Kudrat, all the wondrousness of the mountains, the beautiful sunsets, the beautiful beaches that we go and take our vacations on. We go and we visit the forests. We go hiking. We go camping. We go on cruises into the ocean. We spend time and we see many, many different people. We go traveling. This is all inside of Kudrat. It's the way nature is working. It's all true because you are working through it. If you were not working through it, then the Kudrat wouldn't exist. Mother Nature wouldn't exist. The way people work, the way people interact. Even as humans, we fall into this Kudrat. We fall into this nature. That's why, because you are working through it, Sachi Teri Kudrat, Sache Padshah, the word Padshah. Pad, meaning somebody who sits on a throne. Pat Taknawala, somebody that does justice, delivers just rule. Padshah, Shah meaning king. Sachi Teri Kudrat, Sache Padshah. You are the righteous king. You are the Padshah of this entire world. Rajanake Raja, Maharajanake Maharaja. The king of all kings. Many kings may be in this world, but they all have a king on top of their heads as well. The king is wearing a crown. He may be in this world and somebody may be calling him that he is a great king, that he is most powerful, but even he can't exist. Even the Queen of England today, or the King of Thailand, or wherever it may be, the greatest politicians, greatest celebrities, which people look up to, they can't exist if it wasn't for Sache Padshah working through them. You are the true master in this world, in all worlds. And because you work through everything, that's why this entire world, this Kothari is true. The question was of Sheikh Brahm, we see the sun and the moon to be different. We see the earth, the trees, the dirt, the people of this world to be different. You're saying that that Paramatma is sitting inside of this creation and it's just Paramatma. Everything is Akal Purkh, the form of God. And the Guru has shown you this. But I see everything to be differently. Can you please shine this light? Why do I see things to be differently? And Sache Padshah is saying that because Paramatma is working through this, it is all true. It is Paramatma. But when we go into ignorance, we begin to see the differences. Sache Padshah here, they say that those that meditate on this avastha, and seeing Paramatma, there used to be a sadhana that yogis used to do. And Gurbani, Sache Pacha is describing this in the form of Gurbani to us, that as we read Gurbani, we see this in when Guru Gobind Singh Ji in Akal Ustat, when they recite, Jalas Tui, Thalas Tui, they're saying in the dirt it is you, in the water it is you, that is the same avastha. When we read in Jap Sahib, Chakar Chehn ar Baranjat ar Paat Nahinje, Roop Rang ar Rekh Pek, Kau Keh na Sakat Keh, Achal Murt Anpo Prakash Amitoj Keh Jai, Koot Indar Indran Sai Sahan Grinjai, Tirpavan Mahib, Sur Nar Asur, Net Ned Bantrin, Kehet Tavasar Naam, Katha Kavan, Karm Naam, Barnat Sumat. That you are outside of all cycles. You are a chal roop. You do not move. You are unwavering. You have no form. We cannot describe you, but with whatever words, whatever names that we can try to, we will try. Whatever our buddhi allows us to, whatever our mind allows us to. Because you are beyond all of this. Nanak Sach Te and such, you are inside of everything. Sache Pacha Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Tu hi, 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 tu hi. Tu hi, 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 tu hi. 16 times they say this because they're looking around the world and saying it's just you. Yogis used to do this practice as well. What they would do, they would go and sit in front of a tree and they would look at the tree and they're saying, this is you. They would go look at a rock and they say, this is you. They would go look at the ocean, they would say, this is you. Or the other practice, they would go and look at a tree and they would say, this is false. This does not exist. They would look at the water and they say, this is false, does not exist. They would look at the water, they would look at the people, they would look at the rocks, birds, animals, and they would say, this is false, this does not exist. When you start cutting out all the Kud Raja, Kud Parja, Kud Sab Samsar, you are left with one thing, and that is Paramatma, that is Akal Purkh, because that is the only thing that's left that isn't false. And then, when you look at that, what is working through this light, what is working through these sheets, what is working through this sound, what is working through the sun, what is working through all of the trees and all of these beautiful creations, it is you. So I don't see the trees and the animals and the birds anymore. All I see is you. Nanak, such dhyan, such those that meditate, contemplate this, they become the form of truth. And then they realize, what am I then? If this is all Paramatma, what am I? I am also the form of Paramatma. What is my thinking? My thinking is false, but my thinking is true only because Paramatma is thinking is, my mind, my buddhi knows my hand, but my hand does not know my mind. It's the direction. My mind knows my eyes, which know the world, which may know a rock, but the rock doesn't know my mind. It is the direction it works in. And now, the buddhi does not know that Paramatma, but Paramatma knows my mind. Think of it that. It's very subtle. My mind, my buddhi, my intellect does not know Paramatma because it works the other way. Just like my mind knows my hand, but my hand doesn't know my mind. Therefore, when I meditate on Akal Purkh, when I focus on that Paramatma, my ignorance can start getting cut, and then I start to begin to experience that. I become vismad in that. Nanak sach, dhyayan sach, jomar jamme, so kach ne kach. Kach ne kach. Meaning that those people that do not contemplate this truth, that contemplate the false world, they are even more false than the false. Jomar jamme, those that are into the cycle of birth and death, that continually go. The only way out of this cycle of birth and death is when you meditate on God and you are liberated through Guru's Kirpa. But those that go out and desire the false, those things that are also Jomar Jamme, those that are going after those things that die, such as money, such as opinions, fashion trends, what your mind says, these things are not permanent, pyareo. Those people that attach to this world, they are also false. They become this form of false. Gurbani says, Bhagta tੈ sansariyan jod kade na aya, that these will never ever be able to connect. Khyar pyareo, moving forward, Jomar jamme so kachnikar, those that contemplate the false, they become the form of false. Those that contemplate those things that are not true, such as whatever it may be, mythological creatures or fantasies, those are also false. Therefore, the next question asked by Sheikh Brahm is that thing that which you say is true is Paramatma. What is the praise of that? What is The vadiyai, what is the difference between that and the vadiyai of the false? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha, they go forward and they say, Vadi vadiyai ja vadda nao, Vadi vadiyai ja sach ne aao, Vadi vadiyai ja neh chal thao, Vadi vadiyai jaan hai alao. When there's a king, you can praise the king. The king may not be the most just. He may not be the most righteous. You can praise a person, but that praise can be false. You can praise an animal as the fastest animal, but he may not be the fastest animal. You can praise a person to be the smartest, but that praise may not be entirely true because he may not be the smartest. That praise can be false. Vadi vadiyai, the greatest praise of Akal Purkh is this, that its naam, its name is bigger than it. Normally anybody else, the name can be different. We can say the most just, the most righteous, the most amazing, the smartest, the most wise person. Its name is big, but the actual person is actually smaller than its name. That's the beauty of it. Anything that you see in this world, you can say the greatest, the tallest, the most spectacular, the most beautiful building in the world, but the building may not be as great as its name. But Akal Purkh, your name is bigger than you. Vadi vadiyai ja vadda nao, thoda naam. The name that we connect to is bigger than you. Why? Because when we connect to your name, it makes us become a part of you. Vadi vadiyai ja vadda nao, vadi vadiyai ja sach nao. The truth that you deliver, the justice, the righteousness that you deliver in this entire court, this kingdom of yours, that is also true as well. There can never ever go unjust. If somebody understands this now, this justice, the way that this term works, because this game, think of a monopoly board. There are certain rules. Or so you roll the number 5, you have to move 5 spaces forward. You have to follow the rules of the game. You can't just decide, no, I actually only want to go 2 spaces forward. You roll the dice of your actions, like Bhai Gurdasi says. You roll the dice. You have to move in that way. But in the game, there's also a system. There's also a way to get out. Just by you deciding that I want to do this, I don't want to do this, that does not change the rules of the game. The now of Paramatma is this, that those that connect are liberated, those that don't, they are not liberated. Vadi vadiyai ja sach now, people that do true actions, they also gain the true karma. They get those blessings. If somebody was able to understand this law, this rule, this hukam, all banks, all courts, all jails mean nothing to them. All of the worldly laws mean nothing to them because they are working under the law of Paramatma. That is what the Khalsa Panth is meant to be. We are working under the Fauj. We are working under the command of Akal Purkh. That's why we are called Khalsa Akal Purkh Ki Fauj. We are the army of Akal Purkh. And we were created by his Mauj. Pragatiya Paramatma Ki Mauj. Sache Pacha is saying that law, that system, that hukum is true. Vadi vadiyai ja neh chal thao. And what is another praise of Akal Purkh? Sache Pacha's praise is the greatest praise which we can't praise because his place is unwavering. Neh chal thao. You may be sitting in one place today. Your mind, your personality, or physically you may be in one place today. Tomorrow you may be in a completely different place. The world is in one place today, but even the plates of the world shift. The position of the earth shifts. The position of the sun shifts. Everything shifts. But Paramatma does not shift. Paramatma does not change because you are unwavering. Therefore, this is the greatest praise of yours. Vadi vadiyai jaan hai alao. Those that call out to you, Sache Pacha, you know everything they are saying. Whether they speak in English, Spanish, French, whether they are speaking without even saying anything. Without saying Sache Pacha, you know everything. Vadi vadiyai jaan hai alao. Anybody that calls out to you, they are known to you. Sache Pacha, you know all of the words that they say. Vadi vadiyai jaan neh chal thao. Vadi vadiyai jaan hai alao. Those that call out to you, those that understand your place, they also become nehchal. They attain that such as well. Vadi vadiyai bujjai sab pao. Sache Pacha, you understand the love and the prem of every single person, every single being. What intention are they doing worship for you? What intention are they praising you with? Somebody could be speaking praise for you, but in their heart it could be kapat. Jina antar kapat vikar hai te na roe kya kijai. You know the intentions. Bujjai sab pao. You know the intentions. You know the love of everybody. You know somebody could be sitting in a room, they could be quiet, but if they're filled with your love, you know their intention. Sache Pacha, somebody could be in front of the world and they could be saying anything to the world, but you know exactly what's inside of their hearts. You know what's in their mind. Vadi vadiyai ja puchna daat. You don't need to ask anybody. This is your great praise. A child needs to do something, he needs to ask his parents for permission. An employee asks his boss. A child asks their parents. A student asks their teacher. But Sache Pacha, you don't need to ask anybody. Even a citizen needs to ask the law. But you don't ask anybody. So Sache Pacha here, vadi vadiyai ja puchna daat. Whenever you bless somebody with bhakti, whenever you give anything to anybody in the world, you don't need to ask anything or ask anybody. This is your great praise. Vadi vadiyai ja ape aap. Your great praise is this, that you within yourself exist. There is only you. There is nobody else. Who else can we praise? There is only you to praise. In this entire world, we may see differently because of our duality, but there is only you there. Nanak karna katni jai. And the things that happen in this world, the things that you do, your courage, your actions, the things that you want to do, we can't explain. The way this world was created, the way this world is going to vanish, be destroyed, the way that you work, the way that you create these laws. With these words, with this tongue, we can't describe that. Nanak karna katni jai. It is just a wondrous act. Kita karna sarabra jai. But whatever you do in this entire creation, in this entire world, this is your great praise. In all of these Khand Brahman that you've created, everything is being done within your will. Whatever pleases you, you do. Because there is only you. Kita karna sarabra jai. That's why those people that follow and connect to that hukam, Jo hove, hovat so janna prabh apne ka hukum pashana, they accept this to be the hukum. Kiv sachiara hoiye, kiv kuda tuttapal, hukum rajai chalana, nanak likhya naal. How do you attain Paramatma? How do you become that form of truth? How do you become truthful? When you start living and accepting and understanding what the vision, what the pleasing, what the will of Paramatma is, you begin to become that form as well. So Sache Pacha, Guru Angad Dev Ji describes further what this whole kothri, what this whole realm of truth, this entire world is. They say, eh jag, this world, sache ki hai kothri, sache ka vich vas. This entire world, this creation, think of it like a kothri. It's like a house with a roof. Akal Purkh is living inside of this kothi. This world is just a kothi. It's just a house. Akal Purkh is much bigger than it. It's just a house. You cannot say that Akal Purkh is only this big. Akal Purkh tera ant na jai lakhya is beyond, is endless. We can't describe it. You can't describe Paramatma. Eh jag sache ki hai kothri, sache ka vich vas. This creation, this world is a house, is the kothi of Akal Purkh, and Akal Purkh is living within this kothi. Akal Purkh is the kothi itself. Ikna hukum samaile, and what happens within this world? Ikna hukum samaile, ikna hukume kare vinas. And whatever is happening within this world, what do? There are certain jeevs, separated beings. There's a game that's happening in this world. Those that you make to accept your hukum, those that you make to connect to your naam, you make them become one with you. Ikna, according to your will, according to your hukum. Ikna hukum samaile, you make those people merge into you. And some, ikna hukume kare vinas, within your own hukum, within your own will, whatever pleases you, you destroy them. You make them attached to Maya and you destroy them. Ikna pane kadle, according to your will, the way it pleases you. Ikna pane kadle, those that are indulged and stuck in Maya, they could be those that people, the world says they have no hope. They could be in the form of prostitutes, drug addicts. They could be those people that say these people have not even 1%, 1 bit of spirituality or hope to attain Akal Purkh or peace and true happiness in their life. But if it pleases you, ikna pane kadle, you can take those people out as well. Ikna maya vich nivas, and some people you can take and you can indulge them in Maya and completely separate them from you. Ikna maya vich nivas, you give them a place in Maya and you let them go into those entanglements. Therefore, Sache Pacha, we don't know. We can't say that is that person spiritual or is that person not. We don't have binoculars to look into Sachkhand, to look into your court to see what Dharmaraj is doing, what is happening there, to who really attained God and who didn't. Just in the same way, we can pretend to be whatever we want in the world. But Paramatma knows everything that's going inside of our heart, going inside of our mind. Whatever you do behind closed doors, Paramatma knows through Chitragut. They know all of your charitras, all your thoughts, all your being, whether you hide them from the world and you do them in closed rooms. Whatever you do in your mind, whatever thoughts cross your mind, Sache Pacha is keeping account of every single one of those actions. Therefore, we don't have the ability to look into the world to say that person is spiritual, that person is not. We can't truly judge. Yes, the world, Akal Purkh automatically gets those praised. Jaikar ki tarmiya ka papi ko dand di hoye. Sache Pacha gets their devotees praised. The people that are righteous praised, and those people that are not righteous, they are automatically given punishment, consequence. But we don't have that ability. Eve aakhna japai je kisse ana ras nanak gurmukh janiya jako aap kare pargas. But those people are known to be gurmukhs, those jako aap kare pargas, those people that you shine your light upon, those that you remove their ignorance and bless them with enlightenment. Those people are known to be gurmukhs because they face their entire life around you, that all they see is this sache ki hai kothri, sache ka vajivas. This is your entire play. This is what you do in this world. Some people you connect, some people you take out, some people are thrown into Maya. This entire entanglement is there. But those gurmukhs, they get enlightened and they step out of this. Again, in the next Pauri, this is the summarizing of all of this. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha, they describe the play of Jeev, the separated beings. Sache Pacha says, Nanak Ji Upay Kya. Sache Pacha, by creating this ignorance, this home, they created and separated the Jeevs. Nanak Ji Upay Kya, Likh Nava Dharm Bahalya, in order to take care of, think of it like a board game and all of the chess pieces, and all of the little pieces that move around the board, in order to take care of them, in order to watch over their dharm, in order to create the rules of the game, the referee of the game, which we call it. Sache Pacha created Dharmaraj, created this dharm and sat him on a throne in Dharmaraj's kachari and said, you watch over these jeeves to see what actions you do. Nanak Jiyo Paye Kya Likh Nave Dharma Bahalya. Sache Pacha created the law, gave the law to Dharmaraj and says, according to this law, you are going to rule, you are going to judge. So the righteous judge, Dharmaraj, is sitting in his court, sitting on the throne and looking out to these jeeves. Utthe sache hi sach nibda. In that court, Utthe sache hi sach nibda. Chun vak kade jajmalya. In that court, those people that are in this world that connect to the truth, only the truth prevails there. Everything else that is evil, everything else that is false, that does not prevail there. Instead, imagine there are people coming into this court and everyone is being separated. Those that are truthful, they get put on the side with honor. They get treated with honor. And those people that are evil, those people that are false, that connected to false, they are separated. They're picked out and they're saying, no, you are false. No, you are false. Just like we read in Gurbani, Tarmarai jab lekha manga, kya mukh leke jayega? What face will you take? Here in this world, you do many, many things. You do many actions behind closed doors in your mind and hide them from the world. But when it comes time to go into Dharmaraj's kachari, in the court of Dharmaraj, what face will you take there? You will be asked, what did you do in the world? You will be asked, what laha did you take? Did you just connect to false? Did you just cheat people? Or did you even do anything worthy? Dharmaraj jab lekha mange, kya mukh leke jayega? What face will you have to show there? You will have absolutely no honor there. Chun vakh kade jaj malya, thao na payan kudyar. Those people that are filled with falsehood, filled with kood, dust, those people have absolutely no place in the courts of Akal Purkh, in the courts of Dharmaraj. Thao na payan kudyar. They don't find a place. They are left homeless, without a place to stay. And they have their faces blackened. They are dishonored. They're saying the things that you were meant to do, the purpose of the world. No, you lost this game. You did not win. No, you lost. Therefore, dojak chalya, and they're sent down this path towards narak. They are stuck in this cycle of 8.4 million lives again and again. This is the game of Akal Purkh. Tere nairate se jin gaye, those that connect to your name, Sache Pacha, those that connect to your naam, the truth, jin gaye meaning they won, jit gaye. They won this game. They were playing this board game, and now they won. They can show Akal Purkh. They say, Sache Pacha, we connected to your name. Winning means that we've become a part of you. There is no difference. We've lost our home. Har gaye se thaggan wale. Then those people that were in this world, that were trying to cheat the world, trying to cheat Akal Purkh, saying that it's okay, I can do these bad things, nothing bad will come of it. I don't need to praise a guru, I don't need to connect to Akal Purkh. Har gaye se thaggan wale. They completely lost this game. Likhnawa, Dharm Bahalya, and in this way, Akal Purkh created this hukam, created this game. These are the laws, Pyareo. This body explains the laws of this game. The Akal Purkh is created here. Why did Akal Purkh create this universe? So Akal Purkh could separate. Watch this game. Karasan ditto chao. And now, what are the rules of this game? Akal Purkh Sache Pacha, Guru Nanak Dev Ji has described to us in this body. Sache Pacha says, now we look at back to the Shant of Guru Ramdas Ji Sache Pacha, and they say, Jeevan Mukt so akhiya, mar jeeva mariya, those that die whilst living in this world. This is the way to tere nairate se jin gaye har gaye se thaggan wale. This is the way to truly be liberated and live in this world. And how do you die whilst living in this world? When you fall in love, when you get hit with the arrow of love, those loving words of the Guru, they hit you. You truly die into this world. You know, all you see is Akal Purkh, and you win by not going into falsehood. You connect to Naam. These are the rules of Akal Purkh Paramatma. Pyareo, let's connect to Naam. Let's fall into these words of love of our Guru. And let's not waste this life of ours. Pyareo, make use of this life. So Pyareo, ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ, ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਇੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਨੇਕ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ ਨੇ, ਅਣਜਾਣ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਮਾਫ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਜੀ। ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਓ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।